Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MI podcast. Today's topic is very interesting. We are talking about the marketing of the beauty industry via Instagram. So, Instagram came about around 10 years ago when, earlier we used to use Facebook, to share most of our things among our friends. But Instagram kind of, specialized in, okay, we are going to share pictures, and then I think it went forward to videos and today reels. So it became a very like a, visual medium, because I think the transition of social media, when you say obviously there was web 1.0, which was kind of basic communication messaging, text based. Then 2.0 became about, the media that came in, your photos, videos, and other kind of things. So this kind of transition where, within Instagram, when it came, it was adopted majorly, and that led to, it being acquired by Facebook. So Instagram was, majorly adopted by people in, let's say, the beauty and the fashion industry, and it, led to this whole, you can say, influencer revolution. Because even today, when we talk about influencers, they're following, we are majorly, referring to the Instagram reach. So basically, people like to see a lot of this. I think it's one of the most, consumed social media platforms, Instagram. And the beauty industry, since it's a visual medium, we'll be talking about, things in terms of your beauty, your hair, makeup. Those can be kind of more visually, will be appealing when you're talking about it. So all the marketing related collaterals and all, or marketing messaging, that if it's, more visual, that's why it has been adopted, majorly in the strategies of these beauty brands. So to talk about this, we have a very special guest with us. We have Bhavya Sinha. Hi Bhavya, how are you?
Hi, Nikhil. How are you? I'm good. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. I'm also doing good. So where are you joining us from?
I'm in Mumbai right now.
Awesome, awesome. So Bhavya, to the audience, you can tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and what you're doing currently.
Okay. Hi, I'm Bhavya Sinha, and I'm working as a social media manager. I've studied IT engineering and done my MBA from NMIMS Mumbai. Previously, I had worked with Geo Creative Labs, which is a marketing agency, and it's there where I realized that I would like to be in this creative field. So I continued down this path, and now I'm working as a social media manager at Mascot Spin Control since about a year.
That's right. Geo Creative Labs, is it like related to the Geo, like that we all talk about that company?
Yeah, that one. Mr. Aditya Bhatt is the owner.
Okay, okay, okay. And there, what was like your profile?
So I was working in the social media team and I worked on various briefs and various projects. And one of my main ones was to work on Jacqueline Fernandez's YOLO Foundation, like managing their Instagram.
Okay, okay. So it's something like celebrity management of, obviously the social media and all that.
Yes. I mean, there were a lot of celebrities, a lot of brands, a lot of influencers. A lot was happening over there.
That's right. That's right. So you have worked, say, within, the influencer landscape. You know how to, leverage them in for with respect to your brands, create collabs so that, in terms of the marketing goals are achieved of that brand via the influencers.
Definitely. Uh, I didn't get your question.
No, no, I'm saying that the you have worked majorly, within influencer marketing per se, so that the marketing goals of the brands can be achieved via these influencers because of the major reach they have.
Oh, yes. I mean, influencer marketing was like a part of my job. Like, I'm also freelance. So, I mean, influencer marketing, social media, Instagram growth, a lot of this. It's the whole package I worked with.
That's right. That's right. That's very interesting journey. When we see, when I was like talking in the introduction about, Instagram, of how it has kind of come up, and now Instagram with, they have got so many kind of, features,
Yeah.
how influencers are using it with, in the collabs. You have the live sessions, you have, Q&A. Now I think even creators will, like similar to YouTube, will be getting, monetized through ads. And also, yeah, the
Yeah, I mean,
Instagram.
they've been working with monetization with a small section of accounts, I believe.
That's right. Awesome. So, Bhavya, I think we'll then jump into a session, the interesting questions,
Definitely.
about marketing in terms of the beauty brands. So, via Instagram, definitely the focus would be
Yeah.
Instagram. Is it right to say that, say, 70-80% of a beauty brand's basically the marketing is happening on the channel? Like they're focusing on Instagram only.
Definitely. I mean, everyone today is on Instagram. Okay. Be it like a 20-year-old kid or a 35-year-old woman. Everybody is on Instagram. Everybody is looking what's happening. And with since Reels has come in, I mean, people just can't seem to get off of it. I mean,
Hmm.
even when I'm waiting at a train station or something and I'm like, okay, I have 5 minutes, I would quickly open my Instagram. It's just muscle memory at this point of time. So yes,
That,
I mean, definitely. I've worked with a lot of brands, and I've seen that Instagram brings in a major chunk of their sales. So I
that's
mean, they
right.
use Instagram as a primary source to take people to, if they're running a campaign, to the landing page or to the website even. I mean, Instagram is a primary source where they find a lot of new and potential leads.
That's right. Awesome. We'll cover a lot of things within the strategy and how you can target your audience. Another interesting thing in terms of like when you're talking about beauty brands, obviously I would say 90% of the market is females, and obviously in that maybe age group you're looking at say 20 to 40, where it's more aggressive in terms of in terms of the brands that they want to consume, and also
Right,
they are more impressionable in terms of the influencer what they're saying, and
right,
they're
right.
following the trends and all. So in your experience in Instagram in India, let's say the bigger cities, so you're looking at metros and tier ones, what is the kind of like usage of Instagram and the influence of the beauty brands? Obviously you've done the campaigns, you've seen certain statistics in terms of results. So what are we looking at in terms of that?
So I don't think it's about just metro cities anymore. I mean, people use Instagram like across the whole country. It's not just about a tier one city or a tier two city. Everybody uses
Hmm.
Instagram, and everybody uses, they watch their picture posts and they watch their carousels and they watch their reels. I mean, people really know what's going on. And due to the Instagram algorithm, which is constantly evolving, we know that Instagram wants people to stay on that app. Okay, so whatever kind of content like a person likes, Instagram knows it. Instagram sees what you're liking, and they try to show more of it so that you stay on the app, which is actually working. I mean, it's quite addictive to be sure. So, yeah, I mean,
That's right.
it's not just about metro cities anymore.
That's right. That's right. Yes, yes. I mentioned that because obviously you're looking at the internet availability and the speed. So we still like there is a little bit of work to do in tier two, tier three. Maybe it's available, but in terms of connectivity, like I have certain conversations in that in terms of marketing. Also, people who are marketing in tier two and tier three cities, still the ease. Say when you look at a reel and it's like say the 5G connectivity and all is there, and the speed of the net, and you're consuming the content, it's still easier here. Like there's still some work, but obviously we are on that track. When you're talking about digitalization of India, that is the reason why, like, you are looking in next 5 6 years, these tier 2 3 and villages would also be having the same
Right,
speed that a major city like say
right,
Mumbai
right.
has.
I
So
agree.
yeah, that way we can, but and that is a positive thing for the marketers, because then you have that digital audience, and in terms of volumes also there, and also in terms of that speed, so that that experience is also better, and there is more chance of there being impressionable in terms of getting decisions made through the content and all, and the influence of the brands and the influencers. Awesome. So Bhavya will talk about the journey of the beauty brands on Instagram. So since Instagram was launched and to now, what has been the strategy of the beauty brands, how it has evolved, and what all were the results with respect to maybe some different campaigns they done, or what kind of different strategies they've used.
Okay. So to give you an overview, I mean, before Instagram and before all this digitalization, I mean, if I wanted a beauty product, I would go and ask my mom, I would go and ask my friends, like, what are you using? What's good on the market? What will suit me? But now, since Instagram has come, I mean, brands are able to reach the consumer directly. I mean, before it was all recommendations, but now
Hmm.
brands can show their values and their personality through their
Hmm.
Instagram account, and people can easily identify with that.
Hmm.
Suppose for me,
Also, Bhavya, I think we can specify to the audience when we look at a beauty industry, what are we looking at industries in terms of cosmetics, hair care, and all? Like, little bit, if you could take us through, then there'll be more understanding with the audience.
yeah, so what I am referring to is skincare, hair care, personal care, and color cosmetics. That's what I'm going to be talking about.
That's
Right.
right.
So yeah, so I was speaking, like, since Instagram is here, it's important to build stronger connection with your followers. I mean, if you look at your followers as not just followers but a community, I mean, that will completely transform your Instagram game. So yeah, there are so many new cosmetic brands coming up every day, every single day. I mean, it's just like, should I get this or should I get this? And then I find a new brand, and then it's all over again. So I think it's very important for brands to forge a really strong community on their Instagram and have brand advocates and influencers and social proof and even user generated content and everything to just like show that yes, we are here and we have a community and we would like for you to be a part of this community.
That's right. A little bit we can go deeper into that, Bhavya, where the strategies that have been over the years, because I think the basic things started off first, where a lot of the influencers we can take that they were showing the tutorials and all of the
Yeah,
makeup
right,
and all.
right, right.
Firstly, I think they were just they used to have well taken photographs, so you just
Yeah, I
establish,
mean,
okay, I've done this makeup or beauty
definitely.
treatment and all, then show. So also then brands started adopting that, so either you have a person, a model doing it, or you have like a collaboration with an influencer who is like kind of explaining how to apply this particular makeup and all that. So in terms of that, you can cover a little bit deeper, like what were they using earlier till today, then with respect
Yeah,
to the
I mean,
Instagram. Yeah.
initially Instagram, it used to be just like single photograph images, okay, with a
Hmm.
few filters. That's how it started. And then slowly they got in videos, they got in carousels, okay. And when there was single image posts, I mean, even there were very few followers. I mean, very few people actually active on Instagram. But then slowly, as the platform evolved, so a lot of people started coming in, and a lot of, I mean, the marketing strategies also started changing. They realized they need more visually appealing content. They need content which is relatable, which people can, relate to easily, share with their friends, like and comment. So yeah, I mean, I think the trend has been more towards relatable content, and also since we're talking about the beauty industry, I would say authenticity. I mean, authenticity has been a very big theme in the past few years, and it will definitely continue to be so.
That's right. In terms of talk about any brands maybe that have had a really good strategy of maybe the evolution of them on Instagram over the years, how they have done that.
I mean, you can look at any of the big brands, like if you look at Clinique or if you look at Kama Ayurveda, if you look at their, if you just go down the grid, scroll, you look. I mean, there were simpler posts when they started out with, and then later on they started creating Instagram grids, which is
Hmm.
very important. I think almost all major brands are doing Instagram grids. I mean, when you just go to the profile and you have like a very visually appealing picture which continues throughout the photographs, and some are even using 3D shadow prints and everything, and it's quite
Hmm.
nice to look at. And yeah, I mean, Instagram has evolved to more of visually appealing content now.
That's right. In terms of, so if you are an influencer in this space, like you want to become, beauty makeup influencer, what kind of content would you suggest to them? Definitely, they will do those tutorials, and then
Yeah,
they'll show the different looks and all. I think that's a
definitely.
given. But any other kind of content formats or ways in which they can reach out to more of an audience?
Okay, see, so Instagram wants people to stay on the platform. And Instagram also promotes accounts which use all of the features. So if you're using just picture posts and reels, that's fine. But if you use picture posts, carousels and reels, and then Instagram lives and stories, so you see, or Instagram guides even, so you see you're using all of the features which Instagram offers, and that's what Instagram likes. So first, if you're an influencer trying to grow, the first thing would be to use all of the features. Okay,
Hmm.
as much as you can. Okay, I mean, I know Instagram is a difficult game to master, especially with everything going on. But yes, try to use as many features of Instagram as you can. And it's very important to build a community in the sense that it's always nice that every post that you put up, you put a question at the end. Okay, even if it's a video, you put a question at the end that yes, these are the products I'm using. Have you
Hmm.
used these products, or what are your recommendations?
Something to kind of engage your audience.
Yes,
So
engage
you
also,
have
that
put
way
in
people,
something, they have some kind of
exactly,
reaction in that. Yeah,
exactly. People comment, and then it starts a conversation. The whole point is to start a conversation in the comment section. So,
that's
and
true.
for influencers who are starting out, I would say create high quality videos. I mean, come on, we have so many tools and cameras and mics available, so it's quite easy to create high quality videos. I mean, visually appealing videos with good
Hmm.
content. I mean, see, there are so many reels and videos and posts on Instagram, but the ones which grow massively and in a short span of time is usually the one which has a great content, because it's in still today content is king. So if you have
That's right.
good valuable content, people will see. And especially now, when you combine valuable content with visually appealing content, now that's your strategy.
That's right. I've observed this, like, within the beauty fashion industry, the technical aspects, maybe you have to get it stronger compared to, like, say, you are a domain expert and you are, trying to build a following on Instagram. Because what is the, like, a beauty industry or fashion, you will be attracted to that photograph, or how the video is shot, like some kind of a
Right,
montage of portfolio, behind the scenes or whatever. So
right, right.
in that case, you have to know in terms of the photography aspects of it, or the editing aspect of it has to be kind of stronger comparatively. If it's not, your profile is not based to your attractiveness, like it's about your knowledge you're sharing. So you have to understand
Definitely.
there is more in that. So with respect to photography, you have to kind of your knowledge, your practical experience, you have to increase that.
Definitely,
Also the
definitely.
edits and all, they
Yes,
are, I
yes.
mean, I'm definitely sure a lot of beauty influencers, they mastered on Instagram. Like, I've talked to some of them, they know 100 of things in Instagram I don't know about also, like in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah.
editing, filters,
Yeah,
exposure, and
I mean,
100. Yeah,
I was just editing a reel yesterday, and I saw that every time I go and edit a reel, Instagram has a few more new features. I mean, they're
that's
just making my life easier, because I mean, see, 5 years from now, if you wanted a video to be edited, you had to get to a video editor. But now, with so many tools, and especially, I mean, you can sit in your home and do it on your phone via reels. There's so many options. You want to edit, you want to add filter, you want to add this effect or anything. It's possible. It's very easy.
That's right. That's right. But I think that knowledge, as well as looking up more within the application, that's very important in this case of Instagram. I think over the period of time when you have the stories and the live sessions coming up, that created a more personalized experience.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
look
I mean,
at definitely utilizing that series also, like you have a makeup series for something, like, or a series where they are dressing for different occasions. So I've seen that, like, how do you leverage that. So obviously you look at the trends, some content that is kind of connecting more with an audience, and then how you put it in your own form, so that would connect more with your audience. Beauty industry, obviously, when I think when you are in that, your own appearance as well as the way you present and connect with an audience and hold that attention is even more important, because in other places it's with your knowledge, your experience, what storytelling you have, that would have more of a connection. Here all these things matter more, I would say.
yeah, I mean, if you're an influencer, the way you look and the way you present yourself, the way you talk, the things you talk about, all of these things are very, very important. I mean, since you're in front of the camera, you have to be. I would say camera perfect whenever you're putting out any video. That's really important.
That's it. Awesome. So, Bhavya, in terms of like you have worked with a lot of influencers and you've done a
Yeah.
lot of campaigns. So, any kind of a guide to the listeners where how do you kind of shortlist these particular, influencers, and how do you kind of the collaboration? Any kind of tips of how you do conduct the whole thing, that collaboration full project with them?
Right. So the first thing would obviously be budget. Okay. Now the next thing would be for you to see if the influencer actually stands, I mean, aligns with your values. Okay. So suppose if there is a brand like which creates organic skincare products, right? So you would rather prefer to go to a influencer who also talks about organic skincare, means like organic, the benefits of organic skincare, which products they recommend, something like that. Because there that influencer, the people who are following them are actually interested in organic skincare. You could also go to, like,
So
suppose
that means
maybe.
they have posted something similar earlier, right?
Yes, yes,
Like there's
yes. I
been
mean,
something. Like in a
yes, you have to.
earlier, I think in an earlier session, I was talking about that authenticity part of influencers and being more brand friendly is if they have been in that space. When we had taken the example of Dia Mirza, where
Hmm.
she had advocated earlier about sustainable clothing, it was a part of her life. So when a brand came along, it was
Yeah,
a great fit. It didn't look like
exactly.
there's something additional, or people are
Exactly.
just putting it, another brand on your roster or something. Yeah, that way.
Exactly. So, I mean, if we take this example, if we go to, suppose another celebrity, let's call her celebrity A, okay, who's also into fashion and good clothing, but has never spoken about sustainability, right? If the brand collaborates with her, okay, obviously they would get some reach. But if they collaborate with Dia Mirza, they're really getting the messaging across because they know Dia
Hmm.
Mirza has following which care about sustainability and sustainable clothing. So that's the most important thing. I mean,
Hmm.
whoever you choose, you really have to know if they
That's
align
right.
with your values, and
So that's an
especially.
important point for marketers. So when you have your
Yeah,
final kind of shortlist, because obviously you have to see followers, that
yeah,
genre there, and all
exactly,
those things.
exactly.
Then you come to this point. When you have that shortlist, you have to kind of review their content from earlier and see if there's some
Definitely,
kind of potential, match, or there's a
definitely,
potential of some
definitely.
synergy happening, because can't just go about choosing based on just a reach or that kind of content like beauty related. Is that there is much more things deeper if you want to really be successful in your campaigns.
Yeah, definitely. And one more thing I would say is people usually go via the engagement rate of the influencer. And
Hmm.
there are a lot of tools, okay? I mean, if you just Google, you'll find a lot of tools to find the engagement rate. But the way I found best is to manually go and check. Okay, like in
Hmm.
their recent, suppose 5 to 6 posts, how many likes are they receiving? How many quality comments are they receiving? Are people starting a conversation in the comments, or it's just like random comments? Like you have to look at the quality of engagement too,
So
and that
Bhavya, any
helps
reference
the best.
point in terms of so engagement? How are we firstly measuring it?
Okay, so you have to see how much is their following, right?
Okay,
You have to
so
look
let's take
at
an example. So let's say following is around 100,000. So we'll take that figure.
100,000, yeah, 100K.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a person has 100K following, I would say they should have about 20 to 30K likes. I mean
Okay.
that's a pretty engaged account. Okay, that's a very
Hmm.
engaged account because people usually see and
That's
they
right.
don't like. So that's like very very good engagement. But even if they are getting, like, if upon 100K they're getting like 10K likes, even that is
Hmm.
nice. And one of the most easier way to find
So
out,
let's
suppose.
say 10%. So if you're having a
Yeah,
post, you're
yeah,
looking
yeah,
at say 10% of
yeah.
your followers, there's an engagement. So 100K, say, what do you call influencer, and then you have around 10,000 likes. I think likes plus comments. So comments obviously I think will be the least, but at least around that much in that ballpark. I've even observed that that's a good figure, but let's say 5% also is pretty decent because everyone's not engaged in every post. But when we are going below like say 1.5%, that's some
Yeah,
territory where it's
yeah,
very low engagement. I mean,
yeah,
you're not getting that bang for a buck. Because at the end of the day, when your collaboration is going to be a post,
yeah,
now all his
definitely.
followers, now you have 100K, and me as a marketer, I'm seeing a traffic of, just in terms of the engagement, is 1.5. It's going to be even less in terms of any action they're going to take. So the
Yeah.
numbers are really low then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about 10% which are like really successful and engaged accounts. I
Hmm.
mean, that's a good number. And if you go 30, 20, 30K, it just means that they're reaching more people.
Hmm.
They're reaching more people, new people on an everyday basis. So that's like even better. That's like, a win-win for the
Hmm.
influencer as well as the brand. And so yeah, the likes is always there and the
Hmm.
views are always there. And I also would
Hmm.
urge people to look at the quality of the comments.
Hmm.
Okay, so are there people just commenting emojis, or are they commenting something insightful? Are they asking questions? Are they starting a conversation? The comment section is
Hmm.
also, I mean, you will get to know the quality of the followership, to be honest, in the comment section.
Yeah, very good. That's a very, because it, like in beauty influence of female, attractive female, you don't want the simpy kind of comments from guys. So because that's
Yeah,
not a quality. See, end of the day, so if I'm
yeah,
selling a lipstick, it's a
yeah,
cosmetic. Anyway, it's not for the male audience. Now, if you
yeah,
have a beauty influencer, she should have a majority of following in females. That is, I think, the first thing, because my product is for the females, and then also an engaged, when you talk about the quality
yeah,
comments, is an engaged female, and they are seeing that too. She's like a guide for them, what are the new styles or cosmetics, or what are they using in general.
yeah. No, no, definitely. But also, you have to know that recently I've worked with like two different brands and I've seen with them. They had products, okay. They had like makeup products, and one was personal care product for females. But
Hmm.
when we looked at I mean, who's buying, okay, through Google Analytics, we saw that it was majorly men buying, okay.
Hmm.
And then we realized that
So sorry, the men
actually,
are buying, what is the product?
yeah, yeah. The men are buying, and then we looked, and then we saw that men are buying for their girlfriends and their mothers.
Okay, okay, so it's a female
Yes,
product only, cosmetic only,
yes,
and they are buying
yes,
for, okay, okay.
yes. So that's also happening big time in the industry. I
Hmm.
mean, men are also looking out for products which they can give to their girlfriend for their anniversaries, for their birthdays, for Valentine's Day, and to their mother something which they would like. So yeah, I mean, there's so many products available nowadays, and there's so many gifting options available. So yeah, I mean, men are
That's right.
also buying.
Yes, yes. That's a very important point, where
Yeah,
like when you have gone in details, you've seen it's not like a male has you're getting more traffic, but maybe if that traffic is converting, so you have your UTM and all that happening, you are
yeah,
tracking
yeah,
that
yeah,
click to your e-commerce, and you are knowing this, so it's a great kind of insight. So I think in this case, like as a marketer, I would feel, maybe if they are not following per se, the male are not following account, maybe when they are searching for that product
yeah,
on Instagram, they are getting, so maybe her SEO of her post is
yeah,
much more. So they're coming up higher in the search. So if I'm searching like a dude like on Instagram, like hashtag like eyeliner or something for women or something, so she may be coming higher in that.
yeah. That's there. And so yeah, also so yeah, as I was saying about the comments, right? And also
Hmm.
one thing I would like to say about the comments is so influencers get a lot of comments, right? And some are great, some are not that great. But it's also about how an influencer tries to, foster a community on
Hmm.
their profile, right? Like, are they engaging with their followers? Are they
Hmm.
replying back? Are they leaving comments on the comments that are getting on their posts? That's also very, very important.
Hmm.
Because if an
Like live
influencer,
sessions are happening. Is there meet and greets? Are
yeah,
there any kind of other kind of fan interactions happening?
yeah, exactly. Because then you know that yes, it's an engaged community. So people
Hmm.
know that if they comment, their favorite influencer will comment back, and people like that,
Hmm.
obviously. So yeah, that's also a very
That's right. That's
important thing
right.
to notice.
So,
And
Bhavya, any like we can mention certain tools maybe you've used in the past, or platform where you feel you've had a good amount of success?
um, tools, I would say for Instagram, for to really know if the influencer is right fit for the brand. Okay, so I have been using this one tool for years. Okay, for any kind of insights, be it Google Analytics, website analytics, but majorly for Instagram because I've been working with Instagram. And this, I think, would be really helpful for influencers as well as brands. Okay, so there is this tool called Dataworks where you can custom create your own data boards. Okay, so basically you connect a source, suppose you're connecting Instagram, and then you can
Hmm.
create your own data board with the exact metrics that you want. If you want to see follower growth over a period of, suppose 6 months, you can see that. If you want 1 month, you can see that. Your reach, your impression, everything you can create. And also there are also pre-built pre-built data boards which influencers can use. So
Hmm.
I think it's a great tool
So
for
the site, you can mention
influencers.
it for the listeners, the site
Yeah,
which
it's
is the
data box.
bots. Okay.
Yeah, data
So
box.
okay, okay. So this site, I'm sure the influencer has to go and then sync their Instagram with
Instagram
that
account.
particular,
Yes,
and then
yes,
you
yes.
know you get all the statistics. Say, like say a statistic, say last 6 months, say the follower growth, or every post maybe in terms of what is the engagement of them and all that. So you can
Yeah,
see all those important metrics.
yeah, I mean, there are data boards, so either you can custom create a data board, okay, or you can choose a predefined data board. And
Hmm.
whenever you connect Instagram, okay, or any other source, that's when it starts to calculate your growth. Okay, so it won't exactly tell
Hmm.
you the growth in the past 6 months because you hadn't connected. But since
Hmm.
today you're connecting, so after 6 months you can see your growth. And I think this is a very good tool for influencers because I mean, you're just showing the and influencers can directly share this data board with the
Hmm.
brands that they're speaking
Yeah.
to, so they can be like,
So it
yes,
just shows more
this is real
transparency.
time.
So when if so
Yeah,
I'm a marketer, I can see that this guy is very transparent.
yeah,
He's putting out his
exactly.
data. It's not like he's sharing screenshots and all that, which
Yeah,
can be
yeah, yeah, yeah.
manipulated.
That just adds to
And
the credibility.
yes, yes, yes. And definitely, like when you're tying up, you will kind of favor those guys more because they're open,
Definitely.
transparent, and you can many ways where you can, when you are designing a campaign, you can see, okay, this stat is important for me. This
Yeah,
influencer is performing well for this particular
yeah, yeah, yeah.
statistics and all, and then you can just
Yeah,
have the collaboration with it.
and the best part is that all of it is in real time. You don't have to
Hmm.
go and click refresh. It always keeps refreshing and showing you the latest insights. So you
That's
so
right.
you know, and that's actually a pretty good tool for influencers as well because they know which post is doing well, okay, which post has
Hmm.
got the most reach, which is the top performing post. I mean, yes, Instagram insights also show you these, but I mean, if you just go there, okay, I mean, if you want to see anything, suppose as reach, okay, you can
Hmm.
view it in various forms. You can view it in like pie charts or bar
Hmm.
graphs. Okay, there are. I mean, it's an amazing tool to be honest. I love it.
That's right. So Bhavya, in terms of let's say, as a marketer, with we are working with one is influencer platforms. Like for
Yeah.
example, it's like Chatterbox would be an influencer platform, and then you
Yeah.
have influencer the marketing agencies. So
Yeah.
what suggest in each case, like in terms of using a platform and an agency?
Okay, I would say that if you're trying it out for the first time, okay, if you're going for an influencer marketing campaign for the first time, it's better to go with an agency.
Okay.
Okay, because the agency has already pre-vetted few influencers, okay, whoever is there
Hmm.
in the database, and then they
Hmm.
can make things happen easily. And
That's right.
once you get a hold of how influencer campaigns work, what to expect, what reach to expect, okay, what are the
Hmm.
metrics you should focus on to get what you want, your objectives, okay,
Hmm.
once you've discovered that, you can use tools. Okay, you can just go to Instagram, and there are something like in Instagram, you can see that similar accounts, that plus
Hmm.
sign that's there. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's actually pretty great for finding, influences in the similar, I would say, domain.
Space. Yeah, I've observed that
Yeah,
even location-wise, it's kind of happening. So you have an influencer in Mumbai, so it'll show you similar influencer, like a beauty influencer, female beauty influencer in Mumbai with a similar following. So that
yeah,
is becoming, I think, a little bit better in terms of the similar accounts. That obviously there is
yeah,
no
yeah,
filtering as such.
yeah.
Everyone knows that you'll have to use a maybe a platform for that. And even in that case, you have to then work on a campaign with them. It's not like I can go and use their data and
Yeah,
then do it
yeah.
myself. So in terms of agencies, so Bhavya, what like they charge or percentage of it when they're having that?
So basically, agencies, the ones I've worked with, they have like a combo fee. Like if you're talking about three influencers, with one post each. So
Hmm.
they'll ask for a fixed amount for the same. Now, if you're asking for four influencers who are going to be creating five videos each, so
Hmm.
now that figure would be different. So that this is how I
That's
have
right.
seen. Yeah,
Yeah, so I think it's something like there's an amount you have to pay. So
yeah,
basically, say they are saying I'm going to bring you five macro influencers,
yeah.
and this is my target. Whatever is the campaign, all those things are decided, and you pay the directly the agency. Now that is the back end. How what they pay
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
influencer, and
Now,
that's a
yeah,
different thing. Yeah,
definitely. You pay directly the agency, and the agency gets like everything done on their behalf actually, and just gives you the
that's right.
final
That's
result.
right. So, in terms of agency, one or two things when you are choosing an agency, what you should look at.
Definitely, one would be what are the previous campaigns they've worked on. Okay, because when you see what are the brands and campaigns they worked on, you can see how successful they were.
Hmm.
Okay, then you can see now when you see that, you also see what kind of influencers they have on board. Okay, because
Hmm.
it's essential for them to have like a very varied database. Like if you're talking about micro influencers, there should
Hmm.
be plenty choices. If you're talking about
Hmm.
big influencers, there should be plenty choices. And also
Hmm.
they should be able to deliver on time.
That's
That's
right.
one of the most important things because I
That's right.
mean
That
influencers
will come
also.
with some back end when you know people in the industry and
Yeah,
how is
yeah.
it working with them, because I don't think that can we'll know that in advance or something, or by just seeing the website and all. Yeah,
Yeah, I know, but if you just see, I mean, the kind of influencers and the brands that they've worked with, you will get an idea about the quality of their
mm,
services.
that's right. Platforms ka, what do you feel, any platform you want to mention, or maybe if you are executing a brand awareness campaign where you have to work with let's say 100 influencers or something, then you it's obviously
Yeah.
better to take a platform. So what do you suggest in terms of choosing a platform and doing these campaigns?
So before I used to use Heapsy, okay, but in the recent years I've been working with agencies primarily.
Hmm.
Because then I mean, if you use a platform, then you have to contact the influencer, set up the contract, and it's a hassle, to be honest. And
Okay.
if you're short on time, if you just like build a good relation with an agency, so then whenever you're running a campaign, you just call them up
Hmm.
like, yes, these are my requirements, can you help me out, and they'll help you.
That's
It
right.
just makes the whole
I think
process
for the
much more
bigger
seamless.
campaigns, like uh, I've observed this where they will have a representative. Obviously, they are also running a business, so they'll have like an manager. So if you say, okay, my budget is around a lakh of rupees and I want this much, so they'll kind of work around. So that person will only shortlist those influencers and then work around. So it's basically you're working with an agency only, but a platform obviously has more bigger database, right?
Yeah,
And people maybe they have, I've even talked to some of these guys, so they have a bit of a screening as well as the training for these influencers where they work better with the brands. They are more readily available. It's like an e-commerce platform. So if an Amazon is shortlisting a seller there, they will have certain conditions they have to follow
definitely.
and certain list of things that they have to do to prove their worthiness to come on that platform, and then you take it forward from there. Yeah, definitely that is something. Okay, so Bhavya, in terms of this measuring a success of a campaign, of an influencer campaign, if you could just take us through like an example. Okay, I've executed this campaign. It could be a brand awareness one, or we can take one in just purely performance. And what are the metrics of success?
Okay, so I mean, if you are going for brand awareness, right? I mean, see, every campaign I believe has to have a landing page. You cannot just take them to any page on their website. Every campaign needs a good, well designed landing page.
A dedicated landing page, not
Yes,
like you're going on the home page or just one of the
yes.
contact us. Okay.
Right, right. So I believe every campaign should have a landing page. So now, what are you trying to like? Suppose if you say brand awareness, right? So now, if you have a brand awareness campaign, then the landing page should be more about what the brand stands for. Okay, what the founder's note was, what the founder's note is, and then in the end, like a CTA, like check
Hmm.
out our products if it's a beauty care brand. And
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, the metrics that you should notice is how many people are clicking on that landing page link, and also how much time are they spending. And also for a website, there is a tool called Microsoft Clarity, right? For websites, this tool basically helps you with heat maps. Now, heat maps
Hmm.
is where your customer spends the most time on a website. And
Hmm.
tools like these, which give you such insights, are, I think, extremely important. So, if you integrate such tools before your campaign starts, you will know, like, people are clicking. Yes, okay, suppose 20,000 people clicked. That's great. Now,
Hmm.
in the landing page, where are they actually looking? Okay. Are
Hmm.
they going and looking at the founder's note, or are they looking at the story of the brand? So and also with campaigns, one more important thing I would like to say is you should always A/B test.
Hmm.
Okay, because we, as if you're talking about brand owners, okay, or as marketing specialists, I mean, we think that yes, this would work. But sometimes if we just test it out, like suppose if there's a ad that we're running, okay, and there is copy one, okay, so I would recommend that you create another visually appealing photo or a video, okay, with the same message but in different words. Again, the caption would
Hmm.
also be different, and just try and see which of the two work with your audience. And of course, when you're running a campaign, it's extremely important to keep monitoring and also adjusting. Like if you're A/B testing and you know that ad B is doing better than ad A, then you should definitely invest more in ad B. And in the future, you should create more ads like ad B than ad A.
That's right. I think the brand awareness, obviously look at reach and impressions. I think one step for the marketer can go. So, like say you've created a collab video or something. So you look at the amount of time that thing has been viewed. So there are statistics in that only. So if you have like a 1 minute video, so how much of it has been this thing, so that shows that that whole thing has been consumed by user, that has
Yeah,
more impact in terms of brand awareness than just to see an impression, because impression, I think within 1 or 2 seconds that is calculated, okay, you have
yeah,
had the particular impression. So that is something you can go deeper into this thing. So marketers, where you shouldn't be lazy wherein just you are showing this, because definitely, like as a marketer, you have to show the business output of what the efforts that you've taken. So this is somewhere where you have had that attention of the consumer in that particular video. Okay, so Bhavya, in terms of the performance campaign, okay, the person clicks and goes to the site and maybe promo code use, any other kind of things that they have to look at also when you're talking about pure performance campaigns.
performance campaigns. I mean, there are a lot of metrics that you should look at. You should look at how many impressions are you getting. Okay, suppose if you have 20K impressions and but only 5K clicked. Okay,
Hmm.
that means that your CTA in your ad wasn't good enough.
Hmm.
So that's one of the things that's you should always look at, that how many people, how many impressions is it getting, and how many people are actually clicking, and there should not be a very huge gap there. So that's when you know that your
That's it.
messaging is not on point. And then once people click, okay,
Hmm.
wherever link you're leading them to, and so yeah, how much time are they spending and where are they spending their time,
Hmm.
okay, and are they clicking on checkout? Because what happens is, one of my friends, okay, he was running a campaign with his D2C brand, and so people were coming, okay, to his landing page, but he realized that people were not clicking on checkout. Okay, and he was trying to figure out what really happened, and then he realized that his landing page was taking a long time to load.
Hmm.
Okay. So then he realized his messaging was on point. Okay, his ad was beautiful,
That's
but
right.
then people are not checking out because
The
his
bounce rate
loading
was would be high in such a
yes,
case.
bounce rate was
Hmm.
super high. So once he fixed that problem, then it started getting better. And also on the landing page, I would tell you this. After working on a lot of campaigns, I've realized this, that whatever your landing page is, okay, so you have some text, some messaging you have. So you put like messaging one here, and directly underneath it, you put your call to action button. Okay,
Hmm.
then below it, you put your messaging too. Okay, talking about whatever your ad is. Then you put again a call to action button. I mean, the person, the user at every scroll should get a CTA button. Because, okay, and they look at messaging one, they're not convinced. They look at messaging two, they're not convinced. But then when they look at messaging three, they shouldn't be searching or scrolling that how do I buy
Hmm.
this or how do I see the price. So always put your CTA button at various points on a landing page. That's super important.
That's right. That's right. That's like similar to a YouTuber putting that subscribe option or click another video or something, like where the
Yeah, yeah,
CTAs are clear. So like when
yeah,
in terms of when the highest point of engagement is
yeah,
there, there has to be something to
yeah,
take the next step,
definitely.
definitely. Also, I think now, Bhavya, there are tools. So where you're having a performance camera, so if somebody clicks on the link from the influencer and maybe is buying even after 7 days, you can track that.
Oh, yes. So actually, that reminds me of affiliate marketing campaigns. So I
Hmm.
had my own Instagram page which had 20K following, and I
Hmm.
used to do a lot of affiliate stuff. So I'll tell you how this works. So in affiliate marketing, basically, there are okay a lot of Shopify. Okay, all of the brands that I worked with were using Shopify, and there were tools. Okay, I don't remember the name exactly. I'll get back to you on that. There are tools which basically how they work is
Hmm.
suppose if I am an affiliate and a brand, suppose you are a brand and you come to me saying that, okay, Bhavya, you promote this product, I'll give you 10% commission on every sale that you bring. Okay, so there would be this sign up page where I sign up and everything, and then I would get a personalized link. Okay, so now I put that link on my Instagram bio or my link tree. Okay, I put it there, the link, and now whenever a user comes and it clicks on that link, so basically a cookie is stored on their, if whatever the device they're using, if it's an Android phone or a tablet or PC, whatever they're using, a cookie is stored, and that cookie is usually valid for 30 days. So if
Hmm.
they don't purchase from that link that day, but if they decide to go and purchase while Google, okay, they Google the website and they go and purchase the exact same thing, okay,
Hmm.
after reaching it via Google result, even after say 10 days, I would
Hmm.
still get the commission because the cookie is stored there for 30 days.
That's right.
So
That's
that's how
very
it
important
works.
because you don't
That's
do
very
that
important. Yeah,
immediately. Obviously, how many people make an impulsive sale like within they're seeing it and then within 5 minutes you're purchasing it? It's something you think about it, then you do a bit of research and then you go it. But
yeah,
the
exactly.
influencer has to be given the credit because it has been through his social media platform, whatever content collab he's done. It's through that it's come in front of the audience and it's influenced the decision.
Definitely. So this is actually very important. And also, this also reminds me to the point that in India, a lot of beauty brands are not using affiliate marketing campaigns. Okay,
Hmm.
which I think they're really losing out on. Because
Hmm.
when you have a elaborate affiliate marketing program, okay, like you have tier one, you have tier two, you have tier three, you call it gold, silver, platinum, okay. And then every tier you've written down all of the benefits that they would get. Maybe they would get freebies every month, or maybe they'll get 20% off on every purchase that they do, or they would be invited to special events and everything. So yeah, I mean, and what do they need to do? How the amount of sales they need get get to the next level. Okay, now if they define these affiliate programs nicely, I think this would really help out brands because then you would have people out there who are wanting to sell your products and they're
Hmm.
convincing people to sell your products. And in this process, when you have loyal affiliates, they also end up being your brand advocates.
Hmm.
They also end up being your brand advocates, and I think that's a win-win for beauty brands as well as influencers. And recently, I think just yesterday, I was on Instagram and I saw that Nika was talking about, one of the influencers was talking about its Nika affiliate program, which is NAP. And
Hmm.
I was like, yes, actually, I don't know why more beauty brands aren't doing this. This is such a huge missed opportunity.
That's right. That's right. I think Amazon has been having that
Amazon also has it,
program
yeah.
for a
It has it.
long time, and Nykaa being now such a big e-commerce platform
Yeah,
for beauty and makeup and all these things. So they obviously, I think they started because they are seeing that there are so many people, they have an influence. So even say I have 1,000 followers, I have a much more influence on them. So if I tie up with them, they will, if I post something, there's a higher chance of conversion than a macro level influencer. So you have to tap into this market
yeah,
because I think you got correlated to when in the non-internet says when you are word of mouth that you just tell you and you have a good experience, you tell about. And then there was also cases where there were certain products where you are selling it also, right, and you're getting a commission. I'm
yeah, yeah,
sure
yeah.
within your, like, they used to give it to homemakers, like, okay, you have an influence, you have your 10 kitty party friends, so you tell them about, and you'll get a commission, you will sell that product to them.
Right.
So it's something equivalent to that also,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
where
yeah. That's how affiliate
you
works.
can a strong, and definitely many females, they have a strong friends group, and they have a lot of influence on them, so you can kind of, brands can utilize that also.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Bhavya, then we'll talk a little bit about these e-commerce in terms of the, let's call it social commerce, like now it's called that, and the shopping features that are there on Instagram, and how brands can utilize them more, and get more bang for buck with their campaigns.
Okay, so I've seen a lot of brands doing shopping tags these days. Okay, and
Hmm.
I think that makes the whole process so much more simple. I mean, you upload a good picture and you add a shopping tag of your product there, and then when someone clicks on it, they're directly taken to the product page.
Hmm.
Okay, I mean, that just makes the whole thing very simple. So, shopping tags super important.
Hmm.
Now, also, there is this unutilized feature. I don't know why more Indian brands are not doing this. Is shopping guides.
Hmm.
So shopping guides is basically like how would I say, mini blog posts, right?
Hmm.
And you can feature your previous posts, okay, which you've already posted on Instagram. For suppose
Hmm.
you want to create three must-haves for winter. Okay, so
Hmm.
now you do that, and now how do you feature those products? You must have uploaded those three products on your Instagram sometime back, any time back. So you can just feature them there. That yes, three must have is this toner, is this serum, is this cream. So this way you can create a lot of guides with a lot of products. You can make collections, you can make ranges, you can make gifting collections. There's a lot that can be done with Instagram guides. It really works well. And then of course you have your reels. I mean, who could forget reels? So yes, with reels also, of course there's entertainment with reels, but I think beauty brands can also do a lot with reels in terms of, they can, as we talked about, influencers, right?
Hmm.
So combining influencer with reels with your products, it always works well, because obviously instead,
It's
I
like
mean,
you are showcasing a look, like
yeah,
a certain makeup look that is there of a
yeah,
celebrity, so the influencer recreates it, and
right.
then you're tagging the eyeliner, lipstick, and all the cosmetics that have been used.
Right, and of course, and if it's like a skincare serum or something, and the influencer says that yes, I've been using this serum for the past 2 months and my skin has gotten greater, just look, I say, even that
Hmm.
sells really well. And the thing with influencers is, people, especially the beauty influencers, okay, only those people follow them who trust them.
Hmm.
Okay, so even if I come across an influencer and she's like, okay, use this cream for acne, and I actually use it and it actually works for me, then I would
Hmm.
immediately go and hit follow, because I'm like,
Hmm.
she suggested these products and these actually worked for me. So she must be
Hmm.
suggesting other products which could work for me. So, these
That's
beauty
right.
influencers, they have an audience which really trusts them. So it's a very powerful source for like
Yes, yes.
getting
I've
people
observed
out
that
there.
even when you do, the performance campaigns,
Yeah.
and there are certain influencers, they have an amazing conversion rate when it comes to, the link, the promo code
Yeah,
usage,
yeah, yeah.
because
I know.
their audience is really, hooked onto them, and when you see their content also, it is, giving value. It's not continuous photo shoots and all those looks. It's like they're teaching a lot of things, and there's a lot of interaction that happens. So
Right.
that is also another thing for, get into the field of beauty influence. It's just not the looks part, also as an educator, and
Yeah, yeah.
someone who values with what you speak, that is also kind of important. Awesome.
Also,
So,
yeah, just
yeah.
one more point I would like to add to it. This is one thing which also brands could do is they create a nice story around their product. Okay, and towards the end of the story, they create a swipe up link to it. Okay, they add a swipe up
Hmm.
link to it, and then they save it as a highlight on their profile.
Hmm.
Right. So now then, okay, the story has expired, but whenever someone comes to their profile and goes through their highlights, they
Hmm.
can see, okay, this product does this, and this is how I can purchase it.
That's right.
So
Yeah, like,
even
so the brand page, the Instagram page. So you have, say, you have those five products of yours. This is your hero products. So
Yeah.
you use, like you have say an influencer also doing a campaign at a particular time or story or
Yeah.
something. So those all can be utilized. In the end, you have the swipe up. So he's kind of going through your hero products, and then he said,
Yeah.
yeah, this is pretty good. I can maybe look at this more. I can go on the site. So you have the direct
Yeah,
link, and they
yeah,
can
definitely. And
go. Yeah.
especially if you have people reviewing, like genuine people reviewing your product on Instagram, they're putting up
Hmm.
stories, then you can also save them to your highlights. It just adds a social proof. It just helps
Yes,
your
yes,
brand more.
100%. Awesome, awesome. So, Bhavya, we'll talk about the inclusivity part of it, where the brands earlier, I think there were 20, 30 years, there were certain ways where you had a model in a cookie cutter kind of look and certain skin tone, and these the products, makeup products generally are being sold to them. Now you have a diverse audience, maybe females who are
Yeah,
dark skinned, who are maybe heavier and all, and those are also kind of being you covered, and which is honest, apart from being woke or anything. Like, it's more about, I feel, your TG. So your TG, most of them are in that scale. Even if you see brand ambassadors and you see the influencers that are being used, they are not like model type and all. Like, we are seeing that in the major, like even a beauty brand.
yeah.
So you will can you take us over a bit of this strategy where you have the approach of inclusivity and diversity in terms of your marketing?
Right. So I think previously the Indian beauty industry, especially, was more focused on fair skin, and
Hmm.
they had products for fair skin and for making skin fair. But today, the all of the talks is about embracing your own skin tone. Okay, if you're fair,
Hmm.
if you're dark, if you're brown, whatever it is, own it. Right, this has been the change. And another change which has come up, so yeah, I mean, of course, following in that point, is a lot of brands, if you see today, are even if you take the example of a foundation, right? I mean, before, suppose, 5, 6 years from now, there were very few options for foundation. They had like, okay, we have four foundations for different skin tones, like that's just it. But today, if you look at brands, they have a foundation for every skin tone. Okay, from fair to wheatish to dark skin, they have everything. I mean, that just promotes inclusivity. Okay, and also another thing I would like to point out here is people have authenticity. I would say authenticity has been a really, really big theme in the beauty industry since a few years. Like you must have seen celebrity and influencers doing their no makeup look and no filter look, because people, that's what people are craving right now, transparent and authentic connections. And also it
Hmm.
leads to when you're putting on a no makeup or a no filter look, then of course the conversation goes to what skincare are you using. And yes, that's how it also goes. So yes, I mean, inclusivity and diversity is something which has been a big theme, and I think it's super great, and it's only going to increase. I mean, that's just skincare. Even if you look for hair care, okay, so I have a bit of curly and wavy hair, and I got to know this in recent years. And then I started using products for curly hair, and it actually worked pretty well. And now I see that almost every hair care brand is releasing products for curly hair. I mean, just a few days
Hmm.
back, I saw an ad on Instagram where it was like a Dove shampoo and conditioner for curly hair. So I'm like, that's actually pretty great. Now I have more options,
Hmm.
because
That's
before
right.
it was, I mean, there was no focus on what kind of hair you have. It's just like, okay, you get this for silky hair, you get this shampoo for hair fall, but it's not about the
Hmm.
hair type. And now they're counting, like, what different kind of hair types are, and the products better suited for them. So that's actually very nice.
That's right. I think when you're like segmenting your audience, you can
Yeah,
also look at back, and then you create products also specific for
yeah,
these segments. And I think over the years the segments are increasing, and you have a
definitely.
specific product for a very, like, it will be for curly hair, then there'll be
Yeah,
for one very thin hair, and also
yeah,
there's so
yeah, yeah,
many
exactly.
segments you can kind of, yeah.
I mean, the beauty industry lately has been focusing a lot on personalization of products. And I
Hmm.
think that's actually very great. I mean, you have beauty brands which have a range for acne. Okay, for just for dealing with the problem of acne, they have a specific range of products. Then they have a specific range of products for, suppose, dry skin. So you see, they're personalizing products, okay, and users are really liking that because people are becoming more aware that okay, there's this segmentation, this would suit my skin better, this would suit my skin better, and then they go to these ranges and they find products, and I think that's actually great because one solution fits all. This theory is like way gone. It's been
That's
long
right.
gone, and it's time to embrace inclusivity and diversity.
Awesome. So, Bhavya, we look at the content strategies of these brands. So, any inputs you want to give them in optimizing their own content strategy on Instagram?
Okay, so here I would like to talk about a few of how the Instagram algorithm works because that's where I specialize. So, this one tip I would like to give is whenever you publish any kind of content on Instagram, okay, the first 30 minutes are very, very important because between 30 minutes to 60 minutes, the Instagram algorithm is actually seeing that how much engagement is your post getting, and based on that engagement, will it recommend your post to new followers and it will feature it on the explore page. So whenever you post a new piece of content, ask your entire team to like and comment on it immediately. And also, one other thing I would like to say is post stories with a lot of polls and trivia. Okay, because polls and trivia, they have an option of engaging with the audience. So when people actually engage, so you know how it happens, like when you open Instagram, there's a story queue, right? And the
Hmm.
brands who you interact with the most, I mean brands or people who you interact with the most, who are your best friends on Instagram, show up first. Okay, so our aim here is that when people repeatedly interact with your brands, your polls, your quizzes, okay, your questions, what starts happening is they start getting the front seat in the Instagram story queue. So that's
Hmm.
actually very useful and very important. And also, this is one thing in my experience I've found is that there is a best friend relationship, as I call it, on Instagram. So I'll give you an example. So recently, a friend of mine, Tisha, she started watching a show called Gossip Girl, okay, which I'm a huge fan of. And suddenly, on my Instagram, a few Gossip Girl shows, quotes, and posts started coming up. And I was like, what's happening? So that's when I realized that since she was watching Gossip Girl, okay, and she was probably searching for it on Instagram, it started showing me too. Okay, so now since we chat a lot on Instagram, Instagram is like, okay, if Tisha likes Gossip Girl, maybe Bhavya also likes Gossip Girl.
Hmm.
So this is,
So,
so
so this
whenever.
is because, so technically, is it that you are DMing her a lot?
Yes, exactly. Because Instagram thinks that, okay, maybe they're best friends. So if one person likes this, the other person is
Hmm.
also bound to like this. So that's how it
Okay,
works. So
okay.
whenever, like when you post and you ask your team to like, okay, it's just natural that whoever their best friends are on Instagram, they would also start seeing this post in their explore. And
Okay,
it's
okay.
just a ripple effect. It's a chain effect. So that's
That's
actually
right.
pretty
Yeah,
great.
apart
And
from DMing, I think is also like you are tagging them, featuring them in your stories, and
yeah,
also
yeah,
that shows that
of
there
course,
is
of
a
course,
close relationship,
of course.
between, and that's why the recommendations are happening
Yes, yes. Like I
because
told
of
you,
that.
yeah, like I told you, Instagram wants to keep people on the platform. So if it sees that yes,
That's
your best friend is so
okay.
heavily interested in this content, it'll show you the same, thinking that maybe your interests
Yeah,
align here. And
that's right.
so yeah,
So it's like a best friend's. If you want to get to a best friend's best friend, then connect with
yeah,
that friend so that it gets recommended. Yeah, that is a good, I think,
yeah.
even non-brand strategy to connect
Exactly.
with.
That's
Right.
actually how it works. Trust me. And so yeah, now based on this, now we know that about this best friend relationship. There's another thing, like if you are suppose a skincare brand, okay, then it's very important for your brand's account to engage with other skincare brands because then again
Hmm.
this best friend relationship is coming up. So if suppose Dot and Key interacts with Arata a lot, okay,
Hmm.
so then slowly now since they're interacting, Arata's followers will also start seeing Dot and Key in their explore page, like you see, due to the
Hmm.
best friend relationship, so you're reaching your target audience of your competitor also.
Hmm.
So you see,
That's
that's
it. But in a case, realistically, maybe they'll not engage with you, but if you are commenting on
yeah.
their post or something, then maybe an indirect relationship is happening.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it just increases your chances on showing up on the explore feed of new people who just might be interested.
That's right. That's right. And anything other points like apart from just the influencer things like how brands can connect more with their audience on Instagram?
Okay, so one thing I would like to say is be really consistent. Okay, like have your follow your brand guide like a Bible. Be really consistent with your Instagram, even if you're not seeing results. Okay, because
Hmm.
if you have been consistently posting for suppose 1 month, okay, and then you do a campaign, so now when you're running an Instagram ad, people will see that campaign and you will obviously get profile visits. Now, if they
Hmm.
see that yes, this brand has a lot of good quality, valuable content, they would hit follow. Okay, it
Hmm.
should not be like, okay, I saw this ad, it's a one hit wonder, so I don't need to follow. It's just they got it right by mistake. So it's,
That's
consistency
right.
is very important. And as I said before, use all of Instagram features. Okay.
Hmm.
And one more tip I would like to give to brands is have a face for your brand. Okay, have one person creating a lot of videos consistently for your brand, because I know a few brands. I don't even need to look at the names on Instagram. I just see
Hmm.
this person, I'm like, yes, this is brand A. This is how I know them.
So it's
Okay, and
something like that person has been
yes,
hired by
branded.
them, and
Yeah,
they are like a real specialist or something. So
yeah.
they
Show
do
their
it for
face.
them only.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's not even about hiring. Even the brand owners themselves could do it, or
Hmm.
someone from the team who's good with camera could do it. So if
Hmm.
you have a face for your brand, that really, really helps. And okay, so this is a strategy I would like to give to brands, which could be really helpful. Okay, so what you can do is suppose, even if you have suppose 600 following, okay, what you do is create a coupon code, okay, with your followers' name. Okay, and then you DM them that hey, you're getting 20% off. Here's your coupon code, and it's the name. It's suppose it's Nikhil 20. Okay,
Hmm.
so I mean, this amount of personalization would at least have them
Hmm.
going to the website and checking out and see how the coupon works. Even if they don't check out, even that's okay, but they will show some interest and they will remember your brand, because you
That's right.
personalize something for them. And definitely, trust me, you will be getting a lot more conversions with this than you're thinking. And at the same time, if you're not getting conversions, trust me, this is such a huge bump in engagement.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Bhavya, let's discuss about the UGC user generated content. How do you leverage? Definitely, marketers now have a part of the strategy in user generated content. How do you encourage more so that it increases their organic reach?
Okay, so as you all know, UGC is super, super important right now. I mean, people don't trust what you are saying about your brand, but in fact, what other people are saying about your brand. So, UGC in today's age is super important. And a few simple ways how brands could do it is, I mean, some of them are already doing it, is post a picture with our products, and or write a review, and we will feature and stand a chance to be featured on our page. Okay, or you will get a 20% discount on your next purchases. So this is a very good organic way of getting UGC content, and it works. It definitely works. I've seen it myself.
That's right. I think nano level influencers can be leveraged a
Oh
lot
yes,
with the
definitely. I mean,
incentives for the UGC content.
definitely. I mean, small level influencers would be so happy to do it, because they are looking to expand their reach. And if
Hmm.
by giving a review or featuring a brand's products on their Instagram could get them a collaborative post with the brand who has maybe a lot of
Hmm.
following, that's like a win-win for both. The brand is getting organic UGC, and the influencer is also getting a lot of reach.
That's right. And Bhavya, I think you might have observed that not only in the beauty but also even the tech space, when you're buying products in an e-commerce site, so they will have a user generated. So when all the photo, product descriptions, everything is given, videos and all, you'll have a user generated review or this thing.
Definitely.
This is and let me like really tell this seriously. When I've purchased a few of my previous products, whether in a beauty or a tech and all, the user that has the maximum impact on me. Obviously, that guy
Definitely.
is paid for doing that. He's an influencer in that space, but it has more of an impact than like a general voiceover video or where you are just even say a celebrity is just featured photo shoot in that particular
Yeah.
with that product.
Yeah, I mean, you can have like big influencers and celebrities and paid campaigns and paid posts. I mean, yeah, those work. Okay. They work really well when it comes to awareness. But then if you want to convert, it's organic UGC, which will get your brand to convert.
Awesome. So Bhavya, we'll talk about some more things within the creating more authenticity in your content.
Right.
Just few maybe tips you can give to brands in that.
Okay. So since I've been working in this beauty care industry since about a year, I've met with a lot of brands and I've seen how they work. And this one thing I would say is I've seen like all of the beauty brand owners, they put a lot of hard work into their brand. I mean, of course, they do. Okay, I mean, sourcing the right ingredients, getting the formulations right. Okay, testing R&D over and over again. It's so much hard work. And the thing is, since a lot of beauty brands are coming up and the competition is absolutely fierce, there's one thing which could set them apart is claim substantiation, which is what exactly the company where I work does, Mascot Spin Control. So one thing, suppose if you are a brand, okay, and you create a moisturizer and you say that it will help with acne, and once, like, yes, you are saying it and that's great, and there's UGC content around it, people are leaving reviews, that's super great. But then if you get it clinically tested, you have a certificate saying that yes, this was tried on this many human volunteers and with different skin types and different skin tones, and this has been the result, and here's the report and here's the certificate. I mean, that leaves a different kind of impact. That's scientific
Yeah.
evidence for your brand's products, and that's, I think, a huge differentiation point for skincare,
Hmm.
hair care, personal care, and beauty care brands.
That's right. Yeah, the beauty care is more important because you're putting that thing on your skin. You're
Yes,
putting
yes,
like in
yes.
your hair. So you
Exactly,
want some
exactly.
more, social proof and even a scientific, like a lab
Definitely.
certificate for, those
Exactly.
things. Yeah.
Like I remember a few years back, there was a serum that I got, and I used it, and suddenly, like, I got a lot of skin irritation. Like my skin went red, and like it really scared me. So since then, I always make sure that whatever I buy is clinically tested and at least dermatologically tested for safety. It's very important.
Awesome, awesome. So Bhavya, can you like share certain like examples? Like, so we'll talk about some brand and campaign they have done, and what can marketers learn from that.
Okay, so recently, I love this brand, okay, Arata. I really, really love it. And recently, I saw that they are having this strategy where they are like, create your own bundle for say 12.99. Okay,
Hmm.
a bundle of four products. Okay, any four products you want, or create your own bundle of six products for this amount, or create your bundle of eight products for this amount. And I have seen, I mean, this works really well. I've ordered using this, I mean, this marketing campaign like once. My roommate has ordered. I know a few people who have ordered. It works really well. And the fact is that after Arata has started doing this, I've seen a lot of other brands, okay, in the skincare and hair care segment doing the same bundling strategy. And I think it has been working for them too, because I mean, I see new brands every day picking up this strategy. It's working super nice. And
Awesome.
yeah, I mean, this is just the digital space. I mean, if you now see, digital space has really allowed the brands to reach the consumers and get sales and connect with the consumers. But I think for creating a really strong brand, there's this one campaign which I fell in love with absolutely. It was Dove's Real Beauty campaign. Okay, so it was launched a few years back, and it basically, I mean, Dove as a brand recognized that due to the beauty standards in the industry, a lot of women and even young girls are feeling very conscious about how they look and they're not liking it. So they created this whole campaign where they're like, I remember watching this one video on YouTube where there was this sketch artist, and so they brought upon one person, and the person would describe their features like the hair, their chin, their
Hmm.
nose, and everything, and then they would go. And then another person who has seen them would come and describe the same person, the same previous person, and then the artist would draw a sketch again, and then they
Hmm.
would show that person, look, this is how you view yourself, Okay, and this is how others view you. There's a
Hmm.
difference. Like, don't be so harsh on yourself. It's the real beauty that counts. So I
That's
think
right.
that's
That's
a
right.
really powerful messaging. And
Yeah.
I mean, social media and digital marketing, everything is good, but I think brands should also focus on,
That's
you
right.
know, core
That's an
marketing and
important
branding.
message also, where I feel you shouldn't be very overtly critical about yourself, because most of the things like we attempt to do also we don't, because we are like over critical, and we don't have
Yeah,
that much faith in us. Where the same thing, when you take a feedback from another person, they are maybe supportive in that sense, or they have some praise for you, you'll be surprised, oh, a person really found that good about me, whatever, maybe it was some skill I had or talent or whatever, in terms
right.
of experience he has with me or something like that. So yeah, that is something which I feel a lot of the young generation, I think there's too much of, since everything is out there, you can see people like overachievers online and all these
Yeah,
things. So you
yeah,
get kind of swayed. Like, let's be
yeah.
honest, like there could be very some guys, doing really well in certain domain, but that doesn't mean you can do something great in your own space.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, it just puts a lot of unrealistic pressure on people. Be it beauty standards or
yeah,
be it achieving things in life, it's
that's
unreal.
right. And with the younger, especially like a kids, and then they're getting into adulthood, with
Yeah,
social media being so much, with like maybe at my time it was not that much there where it would have that much impact. But now they are facing that, which I think, they somewhere the parents as well as the training, the institution, schools and all, they can have these kind of programs where they tell them the reality, where social media, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. So
exactly, exactly. I
yeah,
mean, the
so
people only show what they want to show. There's so much
yeah,
going
yeah.
on behind the
An
scenes.
edited highlight reel you are seeing of
Yeah,
someone's, life or something. So, kind of weigh it accordingly and then take actions accordingly. Don't get really overtly
definitely.
swayed by those things.
Yes, I mean, people need to be educated about the harmful impact of social media and like how to combat it.
That's right. Awesome. So, also about marketing on Instagram, it's not only about the visual that you see immediately. There
Right.
is a point where you look at that image, the caption in it, and then accordingly you take an action on it, right? Or if you're more interested, then you look at the description. And also, with respect to these things, any tips you have for marketers?
Yes. So what I would like to say is, first of all, the copy which you have on your post or on your video and the caption should be aligned. Okay, so that I mean, it's not saying two different things. There should be common wordings, and also
Hmm.
you should always start with a very strong hook. Okay,
Hmm.
like your intention should be to get the user intrigued. Okay, ask them a
Hmm.
question, or say a phrase which really gets them hooked. Like, do you want to get 100 followers in a week, or this is how got my skin to glow in 15
Hmm.
minutes, or
Yeah. So
5 months
numbers are
in a
used
tips for.
basically to get that.
Yeah,
There's specific,
definitely.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Even for blog posts and all, they always use numbers. 7 tips how to do this. I mean, numbers
Hmm.
are great. Or even if
Yeah.
without numbers you want to go, you can start something with like quick hacks for, or stop doing this now, or cheat sheet for. So you see,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
are hooks, and it really make you stay, and really make you think like, okay, what can you tell me? So,
Hmm.
and the recent trend has been to make the content relatable. The more relatable you make your content, the more it's going to be shared. So that is super important. And keep it precise. I mean, I know a lot of beauty brands who have a lot to say about their products. Okay. And this ends up being a very long post. So instead of that, put it into bite-sized information, because in Instagram, I mean even the most common reels are 15 seconds. So people just want bite-sized content. So that would be really helpful for brands if they could create bite-sized contents, and also like create personal stories, and tell people about behind the scenes. As you talked about, the importance of transparency and authenticity is super important. Now, again, for the captions, end it with a good CTA and end it with a question. Or even your video, if you're talking about, end it with a question. Ask people what they think about this, what they think about that, and to let them know in the comments below. And this is how conversations start, and it's really good for engagement. The whole point is to try to start a conversation in the comments. And one thing I would also like to say is don't be afraid to experiment. Okay, I mean it's not possible to get everything right in the first go. So
Hmm.
experiment with different features of Instagram, experiment with different content
That's
formats,
right.
with different kind of messaging and language. Just see what your target audience likes. You never know where
That's
you
right.
could land up.
Yeah, experimenting is very important. Like no one has all the answers, and
Yeah,
as a marketer, you'll have a different journey. So definitely, like sometimes, I've also conducted sessions where you'll many people have questions very specific to their brand and all, but
yeah,
some way or the other, I think it is through experimentation, A/B testing, and all that you will
yeah,
get your answer specific because everybody's situation is different, in terms of their branding, their reach, and everything.
yeah,
So yeah, it's see these are all references. Even a content that like say we are creating, it is a reference, but you getting deeper in this and that creating more connect with the audience is your experience you do with trial and error. So obviously a marketer who has worked in a particular industry or on a particular TG has more of a hold on it. Like even if you see his a career graph or in terms of even an agency having success with certain kind of clients and all, that is an indicator because they have somewhere or they mastered how to influence that particular TG.
right.
Awesome. And lastly, Bhavya, the Instagram features, anything which is kind of hidden, what generally people have not really explored within Instagram. And also, like what is upcoming. Maybe some features not there now, it will upcoming. So maybe we prepare ourselves so that we can optimize our campaigns by using those features.
Okay. So I do know that US based companies have Instagram checkout, right? Where you can just
Hmm.
purchase within the app itself. And the
Hmm.
Instagram app itself stores all of your information like credit card information and address and everything. So
Hmm.
I think Insta could launch that in India in like some time. And I mean, they should definitely. And also definitely utilize Instagram guides. Okay, super important. Try to incorporate all of Instagram's features that you put, super important. And other big changes, I would say, Meta has really been focusing on the Creator Studio. So I've been using Creator Studio for I don't know how many years now, and I was always complaining that they're not updating it. There's so many new features, nothing is there. But recently, in the last few months, they've upgraded it a lot, and I think they are
Hmm.
working on it. I mean, even right now, you cannot
I think
customize the things
they're
as much.
basically they were like even if you want to upload a reel, it was not
Yeah,
possible on
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Instagram itself. Now that is possible. Like there were certain basic things which were not there, which I felt like. So if a marketer is using, say, the YouTube Studio, and you
yeah,
compare it to this on Facebook, you found it's very restricted to
yeah,
because
yeah.
marketers you can't work on the mobile. You have to have a complete dashboard
Yes,
and
exactly.
scheduling and insights and hundred other things you see.
Definitely. I mean, Facebook Creator Studio is very advanced, honestly. I mean, it has
Hmm.
everything, everything you need to.
Hmm.
And yeah, Meta has definitely improved the Creator Studio, but I think they're still working on it. I mean, I see a few new things popping up every day. So that's really nice. And also there is Threads, of course. So I think Meta has really been working on Threads too. I mean, did you know actually a few years back they launched an app called Threads, which was supposed to be a competitor of Snapchat, but
Hmm.
it didn't work out as well. So now they've launched Threads again, which is a competition
As
of
as a
Instagram.
Twitter now, something
Yeah,
which is like a
yeah,
Twitter only. Yeah.
Twitter or X.
Yeah.
So yes, and they're still trying to figure out the algorithm of it. So I would say I would not recommend Threads to new beauty brands because every new platform it's a different set of resources you need for every new platform because obviously you cannot post the same content on every platform. So Threads is still trying to figure itself out, and once we are aware of what the algorithm is, how it works, I mean, then I think we could go into it. But for right now, Threads is uncharted territory, and we never know how successful it's going to be or not going to be.
That's right. Awesome. So I think it's been a great session here with Bhavya on Instagram marketing specifically for the beauty industry. So before wrapping up, Bhavya, any kind of message to the audience, regarding their the strategies on Instagram? We covered a lot, but any kind of closing words on that?
I would like to say, do not be afraid to experiment. Okay. And everybody has their own journey on Instagram. What might work for someone else might not work for your page or your brand. So do not be afraid to experiment and keep putting out content, and do not be scared. I mean, do not get rejected, I mean, dejected, or, feel like they are doing better, I'm not doing better. I mean, as long as you're consistent, you will get there.
That's right. Awesome. So thanks a lot, Bhavya, taking out your valuable time for
Yeah.
this very
Thank you so much,
insightful
Nikhil.
session.
It was great
Yes,
being here.
yes. It's definitely great having you on the podcast. And to the audience, thanks a lot. Please subscribe, follow the MI podcast on various different platforms, and a lot of interesting episodes coming on with interesting guests like this, and they are sharing the different perspectives on marketing and media. Thanks a lot. I'll see you then. Take care.